Hello everyone. Good afternoon from here. How's the weekend going? Alright, this is Queen Esther Wentz Frank by Native Udawabong in case you are new to my channel. Please, before I start the video for today, I want to ask for your favor. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's really important to me, and turn on the notification button for new videos, like the videos, and put down your comments at the comment section if any. Alright guys, for today's video I want to talk about how I became successful and stay successful in academics. Well, I would like to start my story dating back to my primary school days. In my primary school days, I used to predict my result. I used to predict it, and one thing about that prediction is anytime I predict it, it comes to pass. But the secret behind that prediction is what I do not know. Well, at a long run, as I grew up, I discovered that there was no magic and still no magic behind my success story. It's only hard work. I discovered that I tried to look back to my primary school days, that some terms which I would say I'm going to take a second position, third position, or whatever. I discovered that those terms that I say those words, I know myself that I've not worked enough when it comes to study. I've not studied enough as I should. So once I said this is what I'm going to take, and I tell my moms about it, that's exactly what it comes to pass. So when I discovered that my predictions do fulfilled, and I decided to stay positive. Not just staying positive, I work hard for it. Yes, as a child, there's time to play. Even right now, I just don't work. I have time that I decide to have fun. If not going out or doing something, just decide to watch movies and you know get my brain off some stuff before I download again. So when I make the prediction, I discovered it does happen. So like I said, I stay positive. I do say positive ones, not the negative side. And when I know that I'm drifting, I'm not working hard, I make sure I key in and work to meet up with the time. However, when it gets to my secondary school, that is high school, as some may call it, I happen to attend about three schools with reasons. The first one I had to change because I changed my location, and yeah, was it actually I changed? Yes, I changed my location, so I had to change the school. Though from where I was staying, as at the time, I can still travel down to school, but I really had to change the school, and when I got to my new school, I at at start I resumed late, and it's now become like it's enormous resuming late, but it was actually some reasons that bring about that that was the brain behind my resumption coming late every almost every term. At some point, I think it's sometimes it's health wise, and sometimes it's financial wise. And for whatever reason, what I know is I'm always late, and everybody knows that this girl resumes late. But then that didn't stop my grades. My grades always high. And you may ask me, you resume late, you've missed a lot of classes, teachings, and how come? How do you manage to, maintain your grades? Yeah, That is why I'm even here today. What I do, the method I used and still using at the advanced level is reading ahead, studying ahead. Yeah. Even when I know that I have to resume late, if I cannot study ahead, what I do for the notes copied in the class, maybe I cannot study ahead because of my health. Yeah. So what I do, the notes given in the class, I have to, you know, copy while reading them. I will be copying the notes and at the same time I'm reading the notes. And you may ask, how is that possible? Excuse me, please. Sorry. And you may ask me, how is that even possible to be reading and at the same time you're copying the notes? Well, I set myself that way. I trained myself to be able to adapt to the present situation, to the present pattern. I set myself in such a way that I can do those two things at the same time without being distracted. And when I do this, I discover that even the person that I collected the notes from makes some mistakes in spellings, and probably the note was being detected, and the person couldn't get everything right. So with that, I'm be able to make those corrections for the honor of the note and as well in my note. So by so doing, I was able to leverage with others who resumed earlier than myself. At sometimes I do resume around when they are taking the first test or the second test. So whatever test I meet up with, I have to write the test twice or thrice of what they've done to cover up the missing test, the test I've already missed. And it wasn't that easy, but then when you are determined, everything is possible. It's very easy. So, guys, that was just it. And it becomes a thing that everybody knows this skill does not come early. And good enough, I had amazing classmates that were supportive. Some of them who cannot copy the notes, no matter the time it was, maybe they were taking tests, they'll still give out their notes for me to, copy. And by so doing, I'm able to get to all three things from it. And I discovered that I'm always on top. I mean, I surpassed a lot of my classmates. So it was like there is no supernatural power this girl has. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. There was nothing like that, and still nothing like that. Like I said, it's a determination and hard work. I have to task myself and work extra hard. If they are reading like normal prep hours, after prep, I still have to read. When they're going for food, I'm with my books and trying to copy notes at the same time reading. So that was what took me to be able to stay successful and leverage with them while they are ahead, and be able to meet up with them and even surprise them. Then when it got to my university, like I said, talented. I mean, in so many things, multi-talented, so to say, gifted in many ways. So it got to the point that dad was like, I don't know what to study, and this is what you have to study. And I don't have to argue with him much, but then I made him clear that to understand why I cannot study what he wanted to study. But by this time I got to the university, dad was no more, and I was left to myself, and I was like, maybe I just go in for what he asked me to. But my mind, my spirit just feeling didn't feel at rest about it. Okay, oh, I would have got there, so whatever comes, um, and I decided when I was filling the form online, I decided to, I input it to like, course not certain, undecided. So so that whatever it is, I when I get there, I will know exactly what I have to study. So it's when I get there, the I was writing the exams, the practical exams and the oral test. It was during the oral test after my first exams to get the admission into the school that the secretary asked me, um, before she asked me, she said, I've discovered a little talent in you. What if you tried international relations and diplomacy? And I asked her, how was it all about? And she told me, and I felt, oh my God, amazing peace, love, passion. I fell in love with the course. I said, yes, this is what I need. And that is how I called my mom. This is what I'm going to study, and it's not what I thought to study, which is maybe take linguistic, just like daddy demanded, or going for mass communication. I ended up studying my dream course, so it was really amazing. And you may ask me, you are studying your dream course, that means it will be challenging. It was because this is something I've not come across with, apart from government, politics, international relations, and of course, and history of Europe, European history, American history, courses like that, international law, all those courses, they are advanced level. I've never come across them. So at first it was a bit challenging, but though I resumed late as usual. So the late resumption now transferred to my university level. So I decided to ensure that that does not continue. So when others travel back to Nigeria, I stay back. Now, once the first day we resume, I'm always there. So, and staying back, I don't just stay to play. I read, I study ahead of time. I get the syllabus and know what we're going to take for the next semester, and I worked toward it. So that was the pattern I was using and still using at this level, though I'm really going through a lot, doing a lot of things at the same time, but I try to balance them up. So, not just reading was the thing. I always give God His place by His grace, because without Him, I really can't do nothing. Honestly, I'm no one. I can't succeed. So, guys, without God, I can't succeed. So, I do consult Him. Even when I know that I've read, I still have to go back to Him. God, you have to return the same in my brain, you have to return it in my memory, you have to keep it there to whenever, in fact, even after my graduation, not just to learn to pass, read to pass. No, let it just be part and parcel of me, and God do answers His prayers. And I remember once that I was like, I felt myself, that a bit pride get into you. I don't know if you've ever experienced such, that you become proud of yourself. I'm always there, man. Whatever, I'm ace, I'm great, I'm the best. So when that thing came into me once, and I didn't get God involved, I didn't pray. My goodness, when I get to exams hall, I forgot everything. I mean, absolutely everything that I read. I didn't remember anything. It was like a magic. I stayed. You know what I did? I remembered, oh, I have to go back to the course. I missed something. And that was consulting God. I said, God, I'm sorry. Like, I'm really sorry from my heart. I was crying that I know I didn't bring you, and I see myself that I can do it without you returning it in my memory. In fact, I cannot, absolutely, I cannot. So God, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. So, 15 minutes to paper, and then God brought everything back to mind, and I wrote them. Like as if I was cheating, as if I have some papers on me. No, I didn't have any papers. God just brought them back. Everybody were like, "What's wrong with you? How did you get it? Why did you suddenly write?" I said, "It's God." Because they noticed it. Even my friend was trying to help me, but I said, "No, this is nothing. Something I'm not used to. cheating in exam hall, so I can do it now. So God brought it back, and I was happy. And ever since then, up till this time of my life, there's nothing I can do on my own without God. I need God and always needing God. So, guys, in everything you do, don't think you can do everything on your own. You are all doing without God on your side, you're a failure. So, if you don't recognize God as the omnipotent, then I don't think the success you're having is a success for real. Yeah, it's not a success because that success you're accumulating today can turn to be a failure tomorrow. So God must always be there. So that's how I got successful and I stayed successful. So the very point I am now, reading ahead of time, studying hard, and not just studying hard. When it's time to play, I give myself some fun. I just get myself off book academics, and I think that has to do with my mental reasoning. I just get myself, my mind, and everything off. I just want to watch that movie. I just want to play that game, and when that is off, I get back to work. So I just hope this is helpful to you. When you try to practice this, try to stay focused, try to be determined. I'm sure you stay successful. And remember, always talk to God. Tell Him about your worries. Tell Him about your plans. Tell Him about everything. It's there to hear you. It's there to help where you think you cannot help yourself. So thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you for watching my video. I love you as always, and remember to be in church in the presence of God tomorrow. Don't miss it. Bye for now. Yeah.